Welcome back to The Wolf Among Us, where on the last episode we poorly investigated 3 locations and got the name Auntie Greenwood and her address. Supposedly the Black Market Witch. So that's where we're headed now, supposedly alongside Snow. We'll see.
Big B! I just got here.
Yeah, me too. It's
Maybe
number
shouting is
23.
not the
Haven't seen it yet.
best
I'm late.
start.
Yeah, I know. This is it.
All right. How do you want to do this? Hear anything?
If anyone's in there, they're being awfully quiet.
Well, is there not an option to try the door? Jesus. Yeah, something told me this was not...
Hello?
Oh, never mind.
Hi.
You woke me up.
Sorry about that.
Is something wrong? I don't think I've ever seen you before.
Well, pardon the intrusion. I wasn't aware this was a Munchkin's house.
Well, Dorothy, it isn't.
Sharp kid.
Who are you?
Rachel, who are you? Just so we're not strangers.
I'm Bigby. This is Snow.
Pleased to meet you. How do you do? Is there anything you need? I'm not allowed to let people in.
We're looking for a man. A skinny, pale, nervous fella. Have you seen him?
My art teacher says men are a waste of time.
Jesus.
Do you go to school?
Sometimes. Is there something you want? I don't think I can really help you.
Rachel, do you mind if I take just a quick peek around?
We'll be very quick, and he won't touch anything.
She didn't really answer.
I've been here all night. Nobody's been here.
I don't even necessarily believe you're a
Okay,
child.
Bigby, I'm gonna trust you not to break anything. Don't get me in trouble.
What are we looking for specifically?
Crane. He could still be here.
I mean, I don't know that that's really what we're looking for.
No one's been over all night.
What is this?
Mommy uses that to carve her trinkets. It's from the old world.
Trinkets? Like glamours?
Not here.
There's no one here but me.
It's pretty rare to see a burner like this.
Especially in an
Dowdy.
apartment
That's
building.
how we like it.
We're not going to ask the kid about her mom? Maybe once we get to the photo there.
Your mom a hunter?
Oh no, she never... That was found in the woods around Dick's Mountain, I think.
That your mom?
Uh-huh.
And where is she? Should we ask that question?
Let me guess. Big band or classical?
Honky tonk.
No accounting for taste.
Don't be a jerk, Bigby.
Where do you buy your clothes?
At a store?
Oh, my mommy makes all of mine. I saw a spider over there yesterday.
Oh?
It was a pretty one.
There's nothing that looks like Crane was here either.
Nothing?
See?
Don't glare at the child, Bigby.
Do you like broccoli?
Not really.
I love it.
Is opening the closet door gonna piss her off because I touched something? Return address, the butcher.
What's that?
A package having to do with someone called the Butcher. I saw one just like it at the Tweedle's office.
We should ask the kid about the Tweedles.
God damn
They
it.
Shouldn't
must-
say that.
Nothing.
Should be.
Keep getting whiffs of that aftershave of his.
I do too.
Can I go to bed now? Please?
Let's talk to the kid and then we'll let her go. I don't know. There's other. Oh.
Is that a glamour tube?
Mommy really doesn't let anyone play with that. Trust me, I've tried.
Yeah, unless she clamored her kid.
Oh, no. Please, just put that back exactly where you found it. No one is allowed
Or
to play
glamored
with that.
herself.
Honey, Bigby's not going to break
No, you
it.
don't understand. She will freak out if she discovers I've let people in here and let them touch her stuff, okay? She checks all the time to see if things move. I don't want to get in trouble. Look, I'm already grounded. Just put it back exactly where it was, please.
Snow, come on. Are you kidding? It's a glamour tube. Something's going on here.
Well, that's not.
No! Put it down! Please, don't! This isn't what you think! You gotta believe me. The guy isn't here, I promise!
It's gonna be okay, Rachel.
Please, I'm
It's not really what I meant when I
don't
said
wanna-
that, but
I don't want to get in trouble.
I feel bad for the kid.
Auntie Greenleaf.
Well, okay.
It hurts when you do it that fast. What? Not sprightly enough?
Why Rachel? Why the little girl?
I don't think that's any of your business, Wolf.
Why?
How about because it works? That's why. And good enough for you? Certainly kept you two off the scent for a while.
A short while. All right, start explaining. And from the beginning.
Please, Greenleaf, just help us catch Crane. That's all we care about.
That's not all we care about.
Snow?
I ain't a fortune teller, Wolf. I have no heavenly idea where he went to.
You have to know something.
Unless you want a recipe for owl stew, there's nothing I know that would help.
Don't you understand what's at
God damn it, I didn't get
here?
to click.
Crane murdered someone.
You might want to check your facts on that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can't help you.
Who did you
I
help?
have no interest in
Glamour
being
into
turned
Crane.
into a skink and crushed under boot heels. There's powers at work here beyond your pathetic authority.
Whatever it is, Greenleaf, whatever it is that's keeping you from saying something, you have to
These are all
forget
kind
it.
of silly.
This is more important.
We can protect you, okay? Whatever it is you're afraid of, we can make sure that it won't come to pass.
I mean, that's stupid, but
You have no idea what's going on, do you?
nope.
Okay, you know what I think? I think we've been more than patient with you. This witch has been selling illegal glamours that continue to undermine everything we've built. She's harboring a fugitive that took advantage of it, and now she's resisting every attempt to make things right. I frankly don't give a crap if she's afraid for her life. We can at least make sure she never hurts us again.
What the fuck does no?
We're destroying the tree.
No! How dare you come in here and threaten to take from me the one thing that... That tree is ancient. It's part of the family, and it's the only thing paying for this shithole apartment. And the Fables, who can't afford the glamours from you, come to me for help. Without them, where do you think they could go?
Don't give me that. You're making money off of other people's misery. 2 Fables are dead because of this crap. It's too dangerous leaving this stuff with her.
You think I like being the old woman in these stories? The men are heroes, the ladies are whores, and the old hags like me get to watch everyone they love die.
We have very different ways of handling our fate.
Very different means to handle it, too.
And I don't use it as an excuse to wreck people's lives.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, but please, don't do this.
Isn't there another way? She's a witch. Can't she just work for us? That way she'd be official.
You want to reward her for criminal behavior?
It's not.
can't
We have
trust this
established
woman
that there's no
unfortunately.
law
doesn't
against
matter,
this.
'cause I'd
It's
never
fucked
do
up,
it.
but it's not
I'm
illegal.
not a house cat, and I don't play well with others.
Oh, trust me, no one would confuse you for a cuddly
Jesus
animal.
Christ.
Bigby, this is an order. Burn the tree.
No! Look, I'll tell you. Crane was here. He was here, and he left. He went to the pudding and pie to try to use my ring on the girls over there to get information.
What does the ring do?
He thinks it's the ring of dispel. You know, that it will pierce the protection around the girl's speech. He says pulling the truth out of them will prove his innocence. It won't, though. Damn thing lost its power decades ago.
And something still tells
I'm
me
sorry,
that
but
dispelling
we still
the
can't let you keep the tree. It wouldn't be right after what's happened.
neck bows
Bigby.
probably have catastrophic results.
Please, Sheriff.
Today's your lucky day, Greenleaf. I'm hiring you as the business office's newest witch in residence.
Bigby!
The witches over there will keep her out of trouble, and we have a glamour shortage as it is. It makes the most sense now. And you get to keep your fucking tree.
Just don't expect me to bow down to your little woman here.
You're both dicks. And
Don't
so
think
am
for a
I.
second that this is over.
So what?
Snow, what the
You think
fuck
Trent's
is
gonna
wrong
show
with
up
you?
here or something?
Something like that.
We'll call you.
Why did Snow feel the need to pick that fight? Like, I get that she's upset about the whole situation, but like, this whole episode, she's taken a character turn that I don't understand.
That's Crane's car.
No, it's nothing you need to concern yourself with. I don't think so, at least. Shit. Hold on. Sheriff, is there something more I can help you with? Decided you want a taste of the wares? Oh, I see. Come to audition, you bitch.
Tell me what you know, now!
Yep.
Hey, you can't just go in there. We have a problem.
Tell me who did it! Just tell me who did it! I know you know!
Mr. Crane, please. She can't help.
I know you know what the plan is! I won't be held accountable for this!
I can't. I'm sorry.
Crane, get away from her!
I didn't do anything, I promise you, I didn't do anything! These girls, the girls, they'll back me up. I just have to get the stupid ring working, that's all.
Jesus
I can't
Christ,
talk
dude.
because of that spell, but once this ring gets through, I'll know what's going on and this whole thing will be over. That's all.
Wipe that
please.
smirk off your
I'm
face.
innocent, completely innocent.
The ring won't work. Greenleaf sold you out.
What? No, this will work. I assure you, it must. I wouldn't. You.
What a weird guy.
Please, tell me who killed her.
My lips are sealed.
How many years?
What?
How many years has this been going on?
Too many. But I didn't kill those women, Bigby. Please, I had nothing to do with that. It just.
The photo could have been
Oh, God.
legit, but I mean, that could. Somebody else could have come in after and killed her.
Are you all right?
What happened to you? Were you always like this?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Not always.
The story is kind of like
Started as
that.
Most things do, very, very small, nothing more than a thought. But I didn't kill that woman.
Bigby? I don't think he did it.
What?
Look at him. Do you really think this man murdered these women? He's not. He wouldn't be brave enough. Not to put his stamp on the world like that. He's a disgusting coward, not a murderer.
Thank you, my dear. It means so much to...
Shut up. Don't talk to me.
Okay, okay.
You said you found evidence of him defrauding Fabletown, of using our money for his own ambitions. That's one thing. But don't you have doubts he's
And
a
it was
murderer?
baseless.
We've both known him for so long.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Did you see how he was acting when you showed up?
Yes, I know how this...
Why would he even come here if he wasn't covering his tracks?
This fuck-up knows more than he's saying.
Doesn't make him the killer.
Yes,
But
okay,
he probably does.
probably does. But there's a difference between being involved and being the guy who did it.
Yes, that's the point I'm
But if
trying to
Crane
make.
didn't
I
kill
don't
Ethan
like
Lilly,
the way they're
who
stilting.
the hell did?
This
I don't
whole
like
thing
the
is
way
bigger
they're
than Crane. You
spinning
wouldn't have
the things
stones
I say
to
as
us after me.
Big B.
Somebody else is involved.
Well, shit.
I didn't intend for any of this to get so...
You've been stealing money from Fabletown for years, haven't you? Yeah.
How
We're
does
not
that even
gonna kill
work?
you, so
Is
quit
there
your
a
shivering.
taxation system of some kind, or what?
Ichabod Crane, you are under arrest for the misappropriation of Fabletown funds. You have the right to counsel, the right to depose witnesses, but as of right now, you're coming with us.
I mean, what even was his job? What is Snow's job? Everybody just does whatever they want.
Sometimes it's fuzzy.
You think you have what it takes to run that office? You think I didn't make sacrifices? I made sacrifices. And you won't be in that chair 1 minute before you have to give up something you care about just so the wheels don't fall off the goddamn wagon. I did the best I could with what I had. And the town took everything it could out of me. If I maybe took a little something back in return, then so be it. I have no regrets.
Except
an
getting
asshole.
caught, right?
Say sorry to the girls, Ichabod. And thank me for not breaking your nose. Huh. Well, these scenes are going a lot faster than I expected.
Oh, okay.
Why are we in the back alley?
Preposterous schemes.
What are you saying?
No, that was important. Somebody about to get shot? Or run over? Oh boy. Who? What?
Hi. What you got there? Look, it's recently come under our attention that you're, how shall I put this, attempting to claim what is the personal property of the Crooked Man. He's about yay high, 120 odd pounds, pissed his sheets until he was 14. Sound familiar?
I haven't told him anything.
Not now, not now. Shh. The grown-ups are talking. Guys,
What do you want?
that sack of flour. Crane, dear. It's Crane.
It wasn't my fault.
Shut up. You're interfering with official Fabletown business. Step aside.
Tweedledee. What's the, you know, that thing the Mundus call me?
What?
My nickname. You know what I'm talking about.
Bloody
Bloody Mary, that's it. Thank you.
Well,
And do you know why they call me that? Because some of them, they think it's funny to have their little sleepovers and go into their little bathrooms and say my name 5 times in the mirror. They find it less funny when I actually show up and feed their lungs to the family dog. And I do that for a hobby. Like golf, to relax. This is my job. I like my job. So think about
what
I'm
is
gonna
your
do to
job?
you, your girl, and the rest of your friends if you don't hand over the sock puppet now.
I told you he'd never just give him up.
Fuck it.
Who's in the car behind us? Oh, shit. What? Okay. What the fuck? I mean, that's a game over, right? I wasn't sure if I hit that or missed it. I kind of panic hammered and ended up pausing the game by hitting the space bar, but what was that symbol supposed to be? Does that hammer it or just hold it? What is going on? What? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Is this going... Maybe this is going correctly. That gun glitched in his hand pretty badly. Can I just not do this? Or am I gonna get shot? I'm not... I don't feel like I can die here, so what am I supposed to... What is my objective? Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? I'm so confused by that interaction. Everything about that was fucked up.
It was a good show, but, you know, it just didn't know when to end.
Why the fuck does she have the woodsman's axe?
You know, you wouldn't think silver bullets would work on anything but a pure werewolf. But as it turns out, it's just worse.
Why are you making me still hammer
Right,
this?
Wolfie?
And why are you making it harder as we go?
I know it sounds ridiculous, but really, guys.
What's the point? I'm just watching the scene. Fuck you with this. You know what? Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you for making me hammer Q while I watch that fucking scene. Fuck you, game. You piece of shit. What the fuck was the point?
Just take him, okay? Take Crane. Just stop, please.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just get out of here.
It's your lucky day, kid. The Crooked Man says it's okay.
Some
with
sort of tattoo or scar on his hand.
Hello, Ichabod. Got a stomach ache?
I'm really pissed off about that interaction. This whole quote-unquote gameplay.
Oh, and just between us girls, Crane ain't no killer. I mean, look at his face. Couldn't stick a pig if his life depended. Kinda like your boyfriend here. Too pussy to ruin a Tweedle stay. Well, this is gonna be a beautiful relationship we have with you guys. Really, I mean it. I'm jazzed about it. Out with the old, in with the new. Long live the Queen.
What does any of that mean?
I'm sure we'll be in touch. See you around.
I'm pissed off. Okay, time to take off my headphones and just wait for this to pass. Oh, god damn it. Why did it make me...
He's lucky to be alive. And it won't be next time if he keeps going
This
like
is a problem that all narrative games seem to suffer from, where it can't just be okay with like, I'm happy to watch a 45-minute cutscene. It like I mean,
Back off, dog.
sorry, I'll wait until this finishes because I don't know how loud it is relative to
I just wanted to.
you know what? I think I can alt tab
about
out of
last
it.
night.
Nope, I can't. That
After what they did to you,
I was
are you
hoping
even
I
gonna
would
be able
alt
to
tab and it
stop
would
them?
mute it but still run the video.
Don't hold out on me, Jack. You've always got some angle.
Not this time. I know when a mark's not worth the trouble. Do you?
Don't make me come down there to deal with you. I don't want it. You don't want it. Then again,
God damn
you
it.
don't have much choice at this point, do you?
Goddamn Telltale. Okay. So, let's talk for a moment, because that really pissed me off. This whole episode, I don't know, like, it feels like they were trying to wrap up the arc, but they did it really sloppily. I almost know less. Like, not even percentage-wise. It's not just that new questions have been raised. It's that against my will, against the choices that I made, the game itself executed, like, certain decisions on behalf of the various characters, including Bigby, that I did not agree with and did not make sense because I, as the player, even when I'm really only shown Bigby's perspective, I, as the player, somehow am, piecing... I mean, of course, it's a typical thing in video games in general, of, like, in order to make the player feel smart, the game designers design their narrative such that you are, like, one or two steps ahead so that you can, like, sort of get where things are going. But this takes it a step further, which is not only am I mentally, like, multiple steps ahead, but the game itself the characters have not figured out a bunch of the stuff that I've figured out. They have not questioned a bunch of the things I have questioned. They're leaping to conclusions that don't really make sense, or are, like, really inconsistent. And then there's this problem of the choices I make either don't seem to make a difference or make no sense. Because, I mean, for fuck's sake, that last scene, what was that? What was I supposed to be doing? What was the objective in that scene? Like, even if you don't give directions, like, wow, I'm about to give credit to David Cage for something and Quantic Dream. at least in most of the scenes in Quantic Dream games, you know what the objective is. The objective may be stupid, and all the characters may be like totally brainless and wrong-headed, but you almost always know exactly who you are and what your objective is meant to be in one of those scenes, for better or for worse. In this, I'm just standing in an alleyway, getting more angry, getting shot, and not only can I not figure out the controls, I can't figure out if I'm succeeding at the controls, and I can't figure out what my objective is in the scene. Was my objective to get to Bloody Mary and like incapacitate her in some capacity? Was it to continue to get shot so that I can turn into the wolf and have like a narrative moment? I mean, if that's the case, then don't give me control. I don't need control. I'm totally okay with playing a narrative-based game, or really any game, where I just have to be an observer to the game to some extent. I mean, the Metal Gear Solid series, which I could talk about for days, is a perfect example of that, where sometimes it's just more appropriate to just watch a scene happen in front of you for 15, 20, 45 minutes. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a little bit divergent from the norm in terms of assembling a game, but it is not a problem for anyone who's not an asshole. Because if you can tie it in well to the remainder of the game. Like the thing, and this was much more of a thing back in certainly like a few generations ago, where basically you have a story. You end up having due to technological limitations. You have story and gameplay that are fairly divergent from one another. They're almost separate things because the gameplay has to be incredibly simplistic. The graphics are very limited. The ability to render inputs on the fly is very limited. So what a lot of game designers did, even only like 2 generations ago, during my formative teenage years, was to basically have, you have your gameplay, and then the gameplay stops, and then you have the like good old school cutscene where you're just watching. You might be watching for 10, 15 minutes, and that's fine because you're getting the narrative that informs the way that you will continue to play the next time that you are given control. But I don't need to control that scene. Like this last scene in particular is just really what's galling me. Is just, I don't need to make decisions there. If the scene was supposed to play out a particular way, if even the only choice there was whether or not to kill D or Dom, whichever one, I don't know. I can't tell from their fucking hats. Then that's fine. Like, if there's only one decision to make, then play the scene out the way it's supposed to be played, and then pop up either a timed, like, it was already basically in slow motion at that point. So it didn't even have to be a timed choice. It could just go, hey, you watched this scene, you've watched it play out, now's your turn to decide what you wanted to do as Bigby. And I am a reasonably strong detractor of what people, negatively call the walking sim, which is basically, the narrative games that have been a trend recently, which I've talked about that before. You know what? Fuck. I talked about it in my Firewatch episode, except for the audio didn't record in my Firewatch episode, and that was like years ago. Shit. I've talked about it before, I know that. And Spencer, since you're probably the only one who's going to watch this, I've talked about this before on multiple occasions in personal conversations. There's there's problems with these walking sims where you lose agency, but that is not the problem here. At least it doesn't have to be. I was just complaining about the fact that the characters were making a bunch of decisions that basically negated my agency, but in the particular case of this scene... Sorry, I just bit my tongue. I'm getting a little frothy at the mouth, literally and figuratively. in the context of this scene, having only one out of that scene makes perfect sense. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what the case is. Actually, I guess once we go through the player choices, I'll actually see whether that's true or not. I may see whether that's true or not. It doesn't remove agency if a scene can only play out one way. It's almost worse to give, well, no, it is worse to give a non-choice than to not give a choice. And I'm pretty sure that's what that scene was. So I'm just going around in circles at this point. That scene pissed me off. I think I'm more than reasonable in feeling that way. I'm hoping this episode was not the trend for the remainder of the game or even any significant portion of it. This really felt like a sequence of scenes that narratively had to happen and had a bunch of decision-making elements pushed into them for no reason other than to maintain the illusion of player agency, while simultaneously undercutting that by making, well, one, making the decisions meaningless, and two, like, I don't know, I'm thinking back on the D&M's office scene and some other stuff like that, where it's just like, why am I here? Why couldn't this play out in one particular way, since it basically did? I can't fathom it playing out differently or in any substantial different way. But it still feels, despite all that, despite the fact that I saw everything there, well, almost everything there was to see in each of those scenes, I still feel like the whole thing was rushed. I don't feel like this was an episode. Like, if I was buying this episode by episode, which I never do with Telltale games, or never would do, I'd be pissed off about this episode, because this episode is short, it doesn't have a lot of content, and it's basically, hey, we need to get from point C to point D, right? We need to get from Holly is dead, she was being glamored as Snow, Crane appears to be the killer, to Crane isn't the killer, he's kind of an asshole, but being framed, there are bigger players at work. Like, basically none of the scenes that happened could have gone, even if you chose to write them to have options, all of the options there, narratively speaking, in terms of the long arc, all of them would have been red herrings. They have to be. There is no way that points C and D are not the beginning and end. So you just got this split narrative that's totally pointless. I'm sorry, I need to take a breather on this, and I don't want to just rant for 20 minutes, because I'm just repeating myself at this point. I think you get my points here. It's just, this episode was messy, and I'm not very happy about it, because I expected better. Because the first two episodes showed me better. And I was hopeful this would be different. I'm not giving up. I'm not assuming that this is going to be the trend for the rest of the game. It feels like a sloppy solution to a writing quandary, but it's leaving a bitter taste in my mouth at the moment. Okay, let's look at my choices. Did you interrupt Snow's eulogy? You and 80... this scroll bar is terrible. That's one click on the scroll bar. If I nope, it's all snapping. Even if I unclick my mouse to not have the clicky bit, so it's a linear pull, it still does that. Terrible. I mean, this is supposed to be done with a joystick. This should be smooth. Is this gonna? Oh no, it's the same. It's the same even if you... Oh no, this is terrible. Were the other ones like this? I don't think they were. I'll have to go back and look. Feels like shit. Did you interrupt Snow's eulogy? You and 80.7% of players decided not to interrupt Snow. Yeah, it seems like the only logical choice. Unless you're playing Bigby the asshole. What place did you Oh, fuck! I didn't want to do that. Come on, game. I accidentally clicked the right button. Okay, hold on. I can get there, right? Get back there, right? Yes, okay. Jesus. Oh, what is this fucking noise? Come on. What place did you investigate first? You and 19.8% of players investigated the Tweedle's office first. I could see investigating Crane's office first. It seems weird to me that the majority of players would go to the Trip Trap. I don't know. Maybe there's a version of the narrative where Holly and Grendel are not huge dicks the whole time. Did you offer Flycatcher a job? You and 96.1% of players offered the job to Flycatcher. Yeah, I mean, that's a nothing, yet another nothing decision, right? Like, he does not appear to have any function in the narrative. There's no reason not to, unless there is well, again, unless you're playing Bigby the asshole. Did you burn Greenleaf's tree? You and 79.5% of players did not burn Greenleaf's tree. Yeah, see, again, Bigby the asshole. Did you kill Tweedledum? You and 55.8% of players showed Tweedledum mercy. It seems weird to me to kill him. I don't know. Technically speaking, I think there is a narrative, a version of this narrative where D is in jail and Dumb is dead. And I guess that might be handy for a certain type of narrative choice, but it seems odd. I don't know. Still digesting that. I'm grumpy about it. We're missing a bunch more of these. Why? Is it because we went to them because of the order we went to certain things in? We also didn't talk to Auntie Greenleaf when she was still a child, so maybe that's what that one is. If I remember, or if I don't remember, remind me in the comments, but remind me to yeah, I won't remember actually because yeah, I'll ping me when you hear this, and I will post the missing content in the comments. I'll go look it up and post it. Okay. Auntie Greenleaf, the White Deer. Horticulturalist, alchemist, and lover of animals, Auntie Greenleaf is one of the few rogue witches still living outside the 13th floor, unsupervised and unrestricted. Rumored to have lost a daughter in the homeland, she suffers paranoia and depressive mood swings, and will only venture outside at irregular hours under the guise of an ethereal white deer, an oft-whispered specter of Brookhaven natives. Glamour Tube, the handy disguise. Glamours can be produced in a variety of ways, but one of the most common, due to his ease of use, is to take a small hollowed-out tube or container and place within it several items unique to whomever the caster wants to copy, which is required for the reactionary charm. Two downsides of this type of glamour is that totally unique appearances are completely impossible. Yeah, that was what I was about to say. And the nature of the vessel makes it quite unstable. You want to explain that last part? Ring of Dispel. The Arthurian band. Arthurian, rather. Reputed to be fashioned by a Byzantine clan in an attempt to ward off a coven of witches, the Ring of Dispel, or Dispelling Ring, or Magic Canceling Ring, eventually was given to Lancelot by the Lady in the Lake. The Lady in the Lake? Not the Lady of the Lake. Okay. Recovered by the business office after the emigration to New Amsterdam, it was assigned to Greenleaf for caretaking. Hold on. Now I've got a problem. Hold on. Trip Trap Bar is 1725. When was New Amsterdam still New Amsterdam? I guess that's probably about the right time. For those not aware, New Amsterdam was the name of New York when it was controlled by the Dutch instead of the British. There were a bunch of different countries that had holdings on the east coast of what is now the United States prior to the full establishment of the British colonies and subsequently the Revolutionary War and establishment of the United States. But I thought that the purchase of New Amsterdam by the British was prior to that. Actually, was it purchased? Now I'm trying to remember whether it was purchased or conquered by the British. I don't actually remember now. And I don't know what year it was. In the American education system, we don't typically get we don't get a lot of history. Certainly not anything prior to the creation of the United States, because, well, it's not important, right? Bloody Mary, the urban legend. The true history of the person known as Bloody Mary is almost completely unknown, even to fables most acquainted with its members. Her name is Mary, at least. Her name... Oh, sorry. That's poorly punctuated. There should be another comma. Her name, comma, Mary, comma, at least, comma. Too many commas here. Reform the sentence. It should just, it should just be her name, her name at least. No, that doesn't really fix the structural problems. You gotta rewrite the sentence. Her name, Mary, at least, is not up for contention, nor is her penchant for shocking violence, an inlaid resistance to magic and spells, and a strange ability to use any reflective surface as a portal, effectively shortcutting space and time. Thought by Mundies to be the wailing apparition of a childless ghost, though any evidence of that is as yet unseen. This is not even a proper sentence. I mean, maybe it technically is. It's very sloppy, though. This is a dependent clause. Well, I mean, I guess if you think of it as a truncation of the proper sentence, which is she is thought by Mundies to be the wailing apparition of a childless ghost, then it becomes an independent clause. Whole thing's fucked up. Proofread your shit. Anyway. I don't really want to leave this on a sour note, but there's not really anything to be done about that, short of record more, but I've got other things to do today. Anyway, I hope you guys are still enjoying this. I hope there's a lot of spirited discussion in the comments, because I think there ought to be. I mean, certainly when I have this much to say, there's typically even more. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack and not a lot to unpack all at the same time. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I have been the Social Solipsist. I will see you guys next time.